galaxy of intellectuals, invited guests, professors, students. I am Assistant Professor Kalpana, Head of the Department of ITCS of SST College of Arts and Commerce. It is a matter of immense pride to be here before all of you this morning. We are here for the webinar on mentoring positive mood for transition to offline education. This program is organized to give insights to students to enlighten their perspectives towards offline education after 2 years of pandemic. Teachers must be completely devoted to their students' education. Students must have faith in their teacher and the education which they are receiving. Students, parents, and teachers are the key elements in a modern education. A good relationship between the three parties is essential and which leads to good education. Now, I welcome our principal sir, Dr. J.C. Puraswani, who have contributed immensely in the field of education. He is the mentor and motivator for all activities. Next, I would like to welcome Dr. Khushbu Puraswani ma'am, Vice Principal and IQAC Coordinator, who always encourage and motivate us. Today, we are fortunate to have the renowned speaker in the field of psychology, whose expertise and experience are truly remarkable. His competencies, training, and exposure to the field are rich sources of knowledge and inspiration. It's my immense pleasure to welcome our resource person for the day, Professor G.S. Ramesh Masur. He is a consulting psychologist having experience for more than 30 years. He is professional trainer for neuropsych power meditation, and he serves as an organization consultant and trainer. Next, I welcome all the participants and all our SST family members. Last but not least, a warm welcome to my dear students. Once again, I welcome you all to the program. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. So my namaskar to all. My day's greeting to the principal, the management, vice principal, computer science department, staff team, and especially my greetings to the principal's son, especially because for sake of my program, he burnt midnight oil last night and prepared the link, sent everything. So my special thank to principal's son. And hello, okay.
Sir.
Today, yes, madam. Are you hearing, madam?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Continues.
So today, the topic we are going to see is on the mentoring positive mode for transition to offline classes. What do you find today we are going to focus on? Any idea from this topic, dear students? Maybe you think that we are going to focus on offline classes or positive mode, mentoring positive mode. It's not mere mentoring positive mode, or it's not mere focusing on offline classes, the differences. But we are going to focus on the transition. Transition is a bigger thing. Transition between classes. Right? So far, all of you might have gone through the YouTube, the Google, and you all discussed about the pros and cons of online classes, the offline classes. So I am not going deep into that generic things. You might have been knowing the energy, the money, the time, so many things Normally, if you see even the videos on the differences between the online and offline classes, the people focus on that. But is this important thing to decide whether we should go for online or offline? But there are the other side. We have to see on the other side whether you spend time at home, you are able to be with family members, you are able to be relaxed, you are able to plan your own thing. No, these are all the certain positive things. You no need to travel, pollution control, you contribute to the pollution control. So many generic things are set as the benefits of offline classes, online classes. But the real difference between offline and online is not seen from the scientific angle. It is not seen from how our brain is responding. It is not seen from the angle how our mind is responding. So these are all the common things discussed. So we are not going to deep into that. These are all very, very surface level aspects, which we no need to consider to decide whether offline is better or online is better. Next one. Now the thing is that the transition is the biggest question. From offline to online, one transition over. And now again, another transition is expected from online to offline. This transition is now a bigger question, not mere classes. We'll see why this transition is important, what is happening in this transition, what are the aspects we normally forget when we consider the offline versus online debate. We'll see. Next month. Now the transition, it's going on. From child to grown up, there was a transition. And soon you are going to become an employee within a few years. So from student to employee, another transition is going to be, you will be a single person. And after a few years, again, you are going to be a family member. I mean, form your own family by getting married. And even in technology, from ambassador to Audi, there has been a wide transition. There is no single aspect which has not seen the transition. So it is not the surface, offline versus online, but in between what happens. Between transferring from offline to online, or between transferring from online to offline, that in between things, that's very important. That is a juncture which many people forget or they ignore. But we have a lot of assets there. If you talk from a businessman angle, you have a huge capital over there. If you make use of that capital, the capital in between transition, you'll become a wealthy person. Next one. How many of you feel the transition between yesterday and today? We get a different feel. Yesterday was different. It was 26 gone. Today is 27. It has come. There is a transition. But how many of you feel the transition? Something happened between yesterday and today within us. It is not that nothing has happened between. It is not that it was a past day, it was number 26, today it is number 27, or it was July 26, 27, or 24 hours past. No, it's not mere that surface aspects. There is a transition in you within a day, each day, there is a transition. How many of you feel the transition? This transition is a silent thing which is happening. And this is where the whole capital, as I said from the businessman angle, if you see, this is where the whole capital is lying. This one. So this is a surface question. We are going to skip this and go slightly deeper. And we found at one layer, we have the transition, skipping this structure thing, surface thing. Next one. What is the difference you feel? Earlier, you were attending the offline classes till 2020, March 20th or so. Probably 23rd was Sunday, I remember. That was the first lockdown day announced on March 23rd. So till March 21st, 2020, we had online, offline classes, the regular classes. We were attending all those things. And off late, there was a total lockdown. And off late, there were the online. So you had some difference. Now the online is over. Again, the authorities expect you to come and sit physically in the class. And what is the difference you feel? There should be a lot of differences. But feeling this difference, what makes this difference? That is where again you have your assets. Next one. You may feel, no, it's difficulties are coming to offline. Morning, I have to get into the bus or train, metro train. It's very horrible journey. Or I have to travel in the traffic. Sometimes I get stuck. And morning, I have to get up fast. I have to prepare fast. It's running. I become mechanical. So many difficulties we say, right? But where is the difficulty actually? Ever you thought from a different angle, we say the difficulty. But where is the difficulty? Next one. Sometimes you feel the difficulty is less. Sometimes the difficulty is more. The very first day from online to offline, probably you might have felt cheerful because you were having the chance to meet the friends after a long time. But off late again, there was a dip in the zeal, right? So again, off late, you might have started feeling boredom also. So it's boring to come daily to class. Let me sit at home relaxedly. And even sometimes I can switch off the video, have a nice nap. And again, when the class will be over, I'll wake up and show my face. Right from children till the adults, we have many tricks. We use our creativity there. Probably creativity is misused. Next one. So this transition, the difference, the difficulty, whatever you have, whatever you feel, whether it is a difficulty or it is a difference, the exact place where it happens is in the transition. The change. The change is happening within you. Just try sometime in Google, the transition state, type in the Google images and search, or search in the videos. You can't find even a single video of only the process. That's why I shared this image. Every video you will have some person to talk. Now the transition is that in between, it is not known, but most powerful. It's very powerful. That in between, what is happening, that is not, you have the vapor, it becomes water. What is happening in between? Not known. You have the water, it becomes vapor. What is happening in between? Not known. You don't see, but the power lies there. So remember, for throughout your life, where the invisible, the power lies there. And the transition, for most part, is invisible. That is also one reason why the transition is very powerful. And if you just invest on controlling that transition, you can achieve a lot many things. And I have seen the businessmen also in my clientele. They do well, perform well, earn a lot. And at one stage, when certain things happen, they feel the difficulty to get transferred further. The transition, it's not happening. And they get stuck and they start losing. And they start blaming. And of late they take certain important decisions, either closing down certain units, or merging it, or selling the business itself, or diversifying, or limiting their business performances, playing within a small portion segment. They make so many strategic decisions, but these strategic decisions make them survive, not progress, because they forget. They don't see where the power lies. The power lies in the transition, which is invisible. You might be expecting some help from someone. Suddenly you get the help. You say, oh God, I was just expecting it has come unexpectedly. Really, God helped me. No one. It's only the God. But what happened in between? You are praying for something. You are expecting for something. Something happened. What do you know? Surface level. What happened in between? Oh, what transition happened in between? Your prayer and the actual happening. What transition happened? Now, this is where all the videos, if you see in Google or YouTube about offline and online, they talk about all those things. If you see the blogs or if you see even the research, this transition part is missed, but which is where you have the power, which is where you have to control, which is where you have to work smart. And this transition is something where it doesn't require your hard work. It requires only a smart work. Yes. So this is the question. again and again going on in our mind. And a transition, okay. But once again, tell me, sir, should I go for online? Right? Now, the transition is something which gives a feel that we should get a good, quick answer. Now, sometimes we may get the answer which we already know. We say, I already know that. Yes, the answer may be something what you already know, because there are only two options: online versus offline, right? But now you have to change it to offline. Might be there are certain problems, because already for about 2 years, from 2020 to 2022, you were totally offline. So you have the 2 years solid exposure to screen time. Morning, from the time you wake up, even I have seen some adolescent, or even I heard some parents saying about their children, sons who are adolescents. Morning, when the son wakes up, he takes the mobile, takes the brush, brushing the teeth, sitting somewhere, watching the mobile. Whether he is watching the mobile or brushing the teeth, no one knows. Both happening simultaneously. We say in alcoholism, the eye-opener drink. For many people, the screen is the eye-opener. I wish no one is like that in this group. Next month. So from old to new, something in between, the transition. The transition portion is much occupied by the adaptability. You see the videos and other things, the adaptability is less focused. But the major criteria which decides whether you will be comfortable or not is adaptability. Next one. Why we say the adaptability is a bigger thing? The first and foremost reason is adaptability reflects your personality. You might have lot many abilities. You might be a very creative person. But if your personality is not supporting, your abilities will go down. Let us see frankly, not to politicize. You might have heard of Dr. Subramanian Swamy. You know, everyone heard that he is very intelligent. His guide said he was supposed to get even Nobel Prize. But you will know, you will accept people with lesser ability also achieved better than him. There are doctors in our town, lot many abilities. Surgeons, cardiothoracic surgeons are very best doctors. You know, you might have come across. But the crowd is not with them. The crowd is with some other doctor who might not be so skilled like him. I still remember in a very big hospital, a corporate hospital, when I was sitting with the CEO, he himself is a doctor. He just called a person who entered, going through that veranda. And he spoke certain things. After he left, he told me he's a neurosurgeon. He's a neurosurgeon of a very best quality. But he is not getting much referrals. in this particular hospital, the CEO, out of his interest, he was trying to help him out. But the doctor was so skilled. He's a neurosurgeon. So in every walk, whether it is politics or business or medical field or management, we have the people, we have the talented people, but not so popular. They are so popular, but not much talented. So these aspects when we take into consideration, it is this adaptability, the personality, and this is where this July 27th, 2022, you have to focus on this particular aspect happening between transition. This adaptability, I say, not only for offline classes, but for your whole life. Because I have the cases where again, well placed, but the family is much disturbed. The family life. I have the clients. The problem is they don't have flexibility. The flexibility is so poor. And because of that, though they have everything in life, the family life is disturbed. So this is the young adult period, this late adolescent period, this is very important for the college students, where you are actually undergoing the training, not for exam, but for your life. When I used to take class for my students, whether it was in Tamil Nadu or in Karnataka, I used to say the same thing. For examination, you don't require much people. You don't require much preparation. But once you complete your course in life, every day you are going to write an exam. Every day will be a day of examination. So you have to prepare for the life. Right? So on one side, this preparation, today's session will help you to make certain decisions, to bring some changes in you in support of an easy change toward offline classes. But more than that, if you note down these points, throughout life, even after 10 years, you'll say, sir, today I'm living a very good life, sir. That's what I want to hear from you people. Right? Now, this particular adaptability, what we say, this is the one which predicts your future also. It is not only for your present classes, it is not only for your present situations, but it is with this, if we assess in a scientific way, if we assess using some psychometric assessments your adaptability, we can predict how will be your future, in what way you will have problem, in what way you will overcome the problems, in what way you will be successful, and in what way you will have the obstacles. To that extent, this adaptability is one aspect of our personality which totally drives you. It is like the steering wheel of a car or a motor vehicle, the adaptability. So this is one aspect. It is not whether you travel in the bus or when you get stuck in the traffic, or you lose 50 rupees or 100 rupees by pickpocketing by someone in the metro train, or you skip the breakfast or midday meal. But it is this that you have to focus to decide what we have to do, whether offline or online. It is not the distance. It is not the comfort. That's not going to help you out. But this will help you toward offline, also toward your future. Next. Sorry. No, because, okay. It's actually a small video, but what happened? The video is, madam, just check because it is linked online also, whether it comes. Just try to play it. I'm not very sure it will play or not. Okay, I think it's not. Okay, madam, we'll just go back. Right. Now, this is a small invention. It's about a robot. This can jump up to 6 times high of its high size. It will decide what is the height 6 times more than the height of this robot, and it will jump up to that height 6 times. And similarly, there is another robot on which when you forward, okay, on which when you ride a vehicle, it will make an adjustment on its own. Now we wonder, this robot, many of the things are based on your computer knowledge only, and information technology, all those informations. But ever when you were sitting in the lab, when you were feeling amazing toward what is happening in front of you, the program or something, ever you felt that all those things happening are just the mind? We have the Zoom. The Zoom first conceived in the mind. There are so many updates, the features, all these features updated in the mind. Only then it came out. So whatever you have in front of you, whatever technology you have in front of you, whether it is artificial intelligence or whatever it is, when you feel amazed toward it, first stop a second to remind yourself that whatever you feel amazing is actually from here. And therefore, this is what first you feel amazing. All that adjustments, what they got, do you think in the very first idea they made it successful? No. Adaptability. They got an initial idea, obstacle, adjusted, obstacle, adjusted, obstacle, adjusted. So the adaptability was at every step, every thought, every smallest portion of a thought of the scientist or the engineer. That is why he said, if you have that adaptability, the personality component, and if that adaptability is there in your thinking also, what all happening, the amazing things in front of you, that all can happen here. And if you can make it in your life will be a project, not a robo project in your lab. Your life itself, you will make a plan, a project. And every day you will be updating that project, making the wonders. So this adaptability, that's the one you focus when you make any decision and when you want to make any change, rather than the time or the energy or the distance or metro train or the Mumbai bus service or expenses, not such things. Yes, madam. So I think you are getting a different angle for the debate, right? Next one. When you feel, sir, online classes are really best. Certainly with the screen time, there is no problem at all. With the screen time, there is no problem. The problem is with the screen engagement. From morning till evening, you sit in front of the screen, and again the people, you might have heard of, there are so many offices, they just vacated and made their employees work from home. The reason is that they are able to get more work output from the employees when they work from home rather than online. Now, this is where you have to be careful. So in one way, it is going to be harmful to your system, the body-mind system. The body and the mind are two systems that can work only on their own principles. You cannot change the principles according to your whims and fancies. So you have to go according to the mind. You have to go according to the body. It is not that whatever you think is mind. No, it's a wrong concept. Kindly erase that. I have seen so many people who gone through that Google and so many self-development books, all those things. Finally arguing that, so what we think is going to happen, what we think is our mind. Entirely wrong. What you think is what you think. That's all. There is no guarantee that that's not going to happen, and there is no guarantee that that's what the total mind is. So come out to see how our mind actually is. You cannot do anything at the cost of your mind. You cannot do anything at the cost of your body. I have a person, a client from Bombay, 31 years old person, married recently. He has BP, sugar, everything. I was giving online consultation only. Once again, online preferred, but we should control it. That engagement should not get into a problem. Now, why the person has got BP, sugar, everything at just 31 years, and who is also just married last December? This is July. In May, he contacted me for consultation. So December, January, February, March, April, May, 5-6 months. What do you think reason to be is sugar and BP? Don't say marriage, because he just got married 6 months before. But there are other things. Explain. Now, this is how we feel when your mobile is taken away. I recently read a news. Because the mobile was taken away from a boy, the boy killed his mother. Now, to what extent we go mad? The reason, either the screen has become our part of our lifestyle, or it has become our habit. To some people, it has become the addiction also. For your kind information, it is a diagnosable criteria, internet addiction. It is recognized as a disorder. Like we have the anxiety, like we have the depression, like we have the alcoholism. The internet addiction is a diagnosable criteria. It's a diagnosis. We have specific tests for that, the psychologists conduct. And it should be ascertained the specific reason for the internet addiction to be checked. Not that simply giving the same advice or technique to every person. It won't work. Next one. So the more you spend with the screen, the cost is your sociability, your family relation, happiness, and leadership. All the children who have brought to me for consultation, who had autism, or who had ADHD, or who had other disorders, the problem is with the sociability. For the children who brought to me, I first stimulate their development. And to stimulate their development, I start with the social development. Because based on social development only, you have the emotional development. And based on social and emotional development only, you have the cognitive or thinking development. So, when your social development is affected, your emotional damaged, cognitive development. Also, normally, many of us within the family, we sit like this, physically together, but not psychologically, not socially. It is only like sitting in a bus stand or sitting in a railway compartment. We sit with our family member instead of sitting with a third person in the bus stand. We sit with our child instead of sitting with a third person in the railway compartment. But the same atmosphere in the railway compartment or in the bus stand is brought inside our home. Do you want this? This atmosphere, you want the atmosphere of a railway compartment or bus stand within your home? The four walls in which you live? This is what you like? This is what you want to live in? Do you think this atmosphere will give you development? Mental peace? So we should do something to change the atmosphere within the home, to take away the atmosphere of a railway compartment or the atmosphere of a bus stand from our home. So this is also very important. And this is where we have the reason to decide offline or online. Not your metro train or bus crowd or travel time. Next one. Now, psychologically, there is also this public space, the social space. Just imagine if I am in front of you and I'm talking. Normally, I will be moving here and there. So with every person, with every participant, I would have made at least a 4 feet distance. But now you are sitting somewhere, I am sitting somewhere, you are getting the message. But do you feel the being with the feel? You don't want being with feeling, the belongingness. My mother, my father. The feel between the word my and father, my and mother. The feel, the being with. You don't want that. my friend. You don't want that. So this is where we are lacking because of the online methodology, whatever it is. We become the machines, human machines. We become the human machines. The sociability is gone and we conduct human relation training. Correct? We lose the mental peace. We remove the emotional assurance, emotional support, social support, moral support, all gone. And we go for in search of peace. Sometimes even we go to Himalayas. Correct. Sometimes in South, in Tamil Nadu, we say a proverb. Purchasing the images or pictures by selling your eyes. If you sell your eyes, you cannot see. And after selling your eyes, if you purchase the images or pictures at the cost of or sceneries at the cost of your eyes, what is the use? So that's what the digital atmosphere, the internet or online atmosphere is leading us toward. We are going toward that end. It is not the bus fare. It is not the bus travel. It is not the traffic. These aspects, I don't think many of the people have discussed about this. These are all the scientific things. What your mind it. Next one. And this discomfort has come now. When we ignore all those things, when we don't focus on all these aspects, we get the discomfort, difficulty. Right? Oh, who will go morning, wake up at 6:30, leaving the home by 7:30, 7:45, reaching the home. All of you just go back in your memory. The morning 7:30 sunlight, when you are waiting for the bus or train to go to college or school or home office, the morning 7:30, the sunlight, the bright, the sunlight, now your brain will start expanding. We miss all those things. We don't stimulate our brain at all. There are so many things around us to stimulate our brain. And now the people wake up at 7:30 or 8. So the morning bright light, the light waves, the bright wave, light waves, they don't stimulate our brain. The busy breeze, we don't feel, we don't smell. We feel, we sense only the casual feel. Okay, it's 7:30, I woke up, okay. I have to brush teeth, okay. 9, 9:30, 10, taking some breakfast. What to do? Oh, come for breakfast. I'll come. So the lifestyle itself is made in a wrong way. Next one. The thing is that when you are mentoring yourself, You should not stretch your comfort zone. It is not that pushing yourself to accept something. That is why I'm giving you all this information. This information will make you realize where we have to focus. Whether we have to focus on bus travel, the difficulty in traffic, or we have to focus on the sociability, the adaptability. Where we have to focus. Now, this realization, this is also a transition. So the transition should happen here. Then that transition will be easy. And this should happen in its own way, in the way our mind will accept it coolly, in a cool manner. So it's not that pushing yourself, okay, college is open. So all the colleges to function from morning 9 o'clock. Now I have to rush. No. Don't push. Don't stretch your comfort zone. You have to see that your comfort zone is stretching on its own without you pushing that. That is what will help you out. Next one. Discomfort. You remember this famous dialogue, right? Everyone would be knowing this. So when you see the discomfort, there is no single point where you don't have discomfort. There is no single point where you don't have the difficulty. In which you don't have any difficulty. There is nothing. So always we are on the transition only. It is not only that the transition is from online to offline or offline to online. Every moment you are under transition. You are going through the transition and you are living by the transition. So there is no difficulty, something. Life is difficult. Difficulty is life. It's only the perception, how you see things, how you confine your view. Next one. This is the best adaptability, best transition. The way you mentor yourself, the way you bring the changes in you, the way you progress, the way you bring the development.
Sir?
Yes, madam.
Yes. Can you wind up another 10 minutes? See, sorry to interrupt. Yeah, now what is it? Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We can
Start
go ahead.
பண்ணலாங்களா?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. PowerPoint தெரியல.
So it's running. It's just go ahead with the next.
PowerPoint வரலைங்க.
It's visible, sir. For us, it is visible.
உங்களுக்கு விசிபிளா?
Yes, sir.
சரி, அப்ப நான் என் லேப்டாப்ல ஓபன் பண்றேன்.
Yes, sir. Please continue, sir.
So how you can stimulate the adaptability? We already saw that adaptability is very important. That is what deciding the transition. And the adaptability reflects your personality. So not only for the present success, but even for your future. Whether you can predict your future from the horoscope or not, you can predict from your adaptability. I don't know how many of you believe in horoscope, and how many of you already gone for predicting your future from horoscope, right? It may not be predictable, but your adaptability can predict your future. To that extent, it is more accurate than horoscope. But the only thing is that the adaptability should be properly assessed. That's all. So how to stimulate that? Is it that you don't have adaptability? Yes, you have. Adaptability is part of the evolution. So not that I want adaptability, I don't want adaptability. No, you don't have the choice over adaptability. But the adaptability in you may be less or more. The nature as given by evolution itself. So in every species, right from unicellular till the human, or in after many years, if there is going to be a superhuman organism, even that, certainly that will have adaptability. Every member of that species will have the adaptability, but the adaptability will be more or less, that's all. So now we want to stimulate. How can we stimulate it? There are two ways. One, you can do it by professional help. Professional help getting access, showing and following the things, that is on one side. It is entirely different. The other one is self-mentoring. You can help yourself. Once again, in self-mentoring, there are two paths. One is the systematic path and the other is trial and error. The trial and error everyone is doing. But the systematic part, many are not doing. That is why the adaptability becomes the problem. Remember, you have the adaptability, but what you try is not systematic. Because of that, your adaptability is not stimulated. Not that you don't have adaptability. No, you have adaptability. Even the most rigid person has adaptability, but it is not stimulated higher to the extent it becomes, or he becomes more flexible. The thing is that it's not stimulated, not that he doesn't have. But normally we come, he doesn't have any flexibility. Not that he doesn't have, he has flexibility, but that is very much suppressed. That's suppressed one. That's what we are going to stimulate. Only that will help you, not the other aspects. Whether you have to sit from morning 9 to 5, or you can relaxedly attend the class being from home. All these things will not support. But only what you do systematically, wherever you are, whether at home or in college or on the playground. So when you come to the systematic way, at least once you get yourself assessed properly, get your SWOT, strength and weakness, and based on that, specific to you, the psychologist will suggest some techniques. These are all the things you have to focus. Those techniques you follow at home. That's again systematic. And that is self-mentoring. But when you do it FSR manner, your adaptability will not be stimulated. Your flexibility will not be stimulated. And only your rigidity will be your operation. And it will be at fullest operation. That's the problem. So you get one success from whoever is there near you. And it is only for sake of online or offline class alone. It is for sake of your profession. After 2 years, what you are going to do? Yes, no. Movie, there is a song. Papa kehte hain, bada naam karega. Right? So everyone has that wish. Every parent has that wish. That you have to have a bada naam. You have to become very popular. But for that, this will help you. Not just for sake of this online or offline is something, a byproduct. It's not our goal. Online or offline is not our goal. It's our means. That's all. The goal is the life. So when you see the goal, the holistic picture, the bigger picture, this offline will not be a bigger problem for you. And you will start enjoying that. I tell you my personal example. When I was a college student, hello?
Sorry to
Time up.
interrupt, sir. So this will get
Time up.
disconnected automatically as well. So
Oh.
now I'm in a good vibes only. Slide, good vibes side.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir. Because it is scheduled for 2 hours.
Okay.
By 1 o'clock, it automatically gets disconnected. So we have to wind up soon.
Okay. So 5 minutes.
I'm
Right.
stopping the chat, sir. Kindly end with the summary.
Continue panlama?
Yes, sir. That's going on. You just
Okay.
wind up, sir.
Okay. Purila.
So you can carry on. You can wind up in another 5 minutes, please.
After break or continuously?
No, sir. I'm asking you to wind up in another 5 minutes, please.
Okay. Okay. So when you want to mentor yourself, the first thing you have to focus is the first 2 hours in the morning. It's the best thing, right? So the mood in the first 2 hours will be very important. So for the first 2 hours, whatever activities you are doing, whether that is giving you a good mood or not, you just focus on that. You don't need to do many things. Once you manage it at 2 hours mood in the morning, that morning energy level, the whole day will be the positive one. So for this, you might be doing so many things, gym activities, yoga, meditation, so many things. But once check whether you are getting the results. Later on, I will share a link with Madam also, where you can get your morning activities assessed. And you can get fine-tuned, that we can do later. And the morning, the breathing activities we have, something we have made it. The humming while walking. That gives a very good result. But once again, it is individually monitored and it is trained individually in 1 or 2 sessions only. And this, you have the video, I have put it in YouTube also, that video. You can go through that and you can get some idea. You can just try that on your own. So these two or three things will be very much useful to you in managing your mood during first 2 hours, and your whole day will be positive one. Because it gives you the energy. The humming walking gives you the energy. The humming walking gives a good blood supply to your forebrain, the front brain. And therefore you will feel a positive mood. And that whatever you try to do, you will feel energetic to do. And nothing will be a difficult for you, right? And the breathing, as we do that wonderful breathing technique, the humming walking, these 2 things, if you properly do a day for yourself, you can directly do it to your own home. While walking towards the bus also, you can do the humming walking once you know the talk concept. I have made a paper on that, and your mind will feel that it is supporting you rather than you expect your mind. Yes.
Yes, sir. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. So this will the session is going to end in another 5 minutes. So now can I propose vote of thanks, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes. Now I invite, yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving a good, wonderful session. So I think our students might have gained a good insight regarding how session need to made from online to offline. Thank you, sir. Now I invite Assistant Professor Myra Dechani to propose vote of thanks. Myra, madam.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Before that, I would I would like to get feedback from 2 of our students.
Yes, sure.
Yes, Anshu. Now I welcome SYIT student, PS student Anshu.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you ready? Make it
Yeah, ma'am.
fast. Yeah, give your feedback.
Can I start?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Good morning, sir. It is very good session.
Thank you.
It is very good session. It's very intuitive for us because ऑफलाइन क्लासेस के बाद ऑनलाइन क्लासेस के बाद हम ऑनलाइन में शिफ्ट हुए.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, Anshu, some
बोलिए.
Thank you, Anshu.
ऑनलाइन क्लासेस के बाद हम लोग ऑफलाइन में शिफ्ट हुए तो हमें बहुत सारी दिक्कतें आई स्टडीज में. मतलब कंटिन्यूस 2 इयर्स तो हम लोग ऑनलाइन में थे, तो उस टाइम मोबाइल्स और टीवीज में बहुत सारे.
Anshu, sorry to interrupt. Can you turn on your video?
Okay, ma'am. Is it clear, ma'am?
Yeah.
तो तो जब हम लोग ऑफलाइन से ऑनलाइन में आए तो हमें बहुत सारी दिक्कतें हुई, मतलब स्टार्टिंग में पढ़ाई में बहुत सारी दिक्कतें हुई कि डिस्ट्रैक्शंस बहुत हो जाते थे, पढ़ाई के टाइम मतलब वो नींदें बहुत आती थी। तो ये जो सेशन था अकॉर्डिंग दैट कि मतलब मेडिटेशंस कैसे करें, किसी चीज पे कंसंट्रेशन कैसे करें, जो आपने बताया वो मतलब इफेक्टिव था, उसे हम ट्राई करेंगे। और जो प्रॉब्लम्स भी बहुत सारी आई, स्टडीज में प्रॉब्लम्स भी बहुत आई है, तो कुछ क्वेश्चंस भी हैं हमारे रिगार्डिंग आपकी उस एक्टिविटीज में। जस्ट लाइक अगर हमें इस समय मतलब जब उस फेज से हम लोग अभी ऑफलाइन फेज में आए हैं, तो जो हम लोग स्टडी करने बैठते हैं तो हम लोग को थोड़ा दिक्कतें होती है कि पढ़ने में कंसंट्रेशन थोड़ा कम बढ़ता है और नींद नींद आने लगती है, मतलब ज्यादा देर तक हम लोग बुक्स के साथ कनेक्शन नहीं बता पाते जितना हम लोग मोबाइल के साथ कनेक्शन बना पाते हैं। तो उसके पीछे क्या रीजन है ये सब। और सेशन तो आपका सर बहुत अच्छा था, सेशन में बहुत अंडरस्टैंडेबल था, बहुत एक्टिविटी जो आपने बताया वो अंडरस्टैंडेबल था, वो प्रॉब्लम्स भी हम लोग ने देखी है और समथिंग रिगार्डिंग दैट एंड वेरी गुड सेशंस। और एक क्वेश्चन था जो बस जो आपसे पूछना था।
थैंक यू धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Anshu. Now I invite Akishle.
Yes, ma'am.
Turn on your video and make it fast. Yeah, thank you. Go ahead.
Yes. Good afternoon, sir. आज का सेशन
Good afternoon.
बहुत अच्छा था एंड मुझे पर्सनली बहुत अच्छा लगा। मुझे जैसे हम लोग एक अच्छा खासा गैप गिर गया था लॉकडाउन में, हम लोग फोन से भी स्टडी कर रहे थे, तो काफी ज्यादा मतलब ये था कि जो भी है फोन में ही हम लोग ज्यादा टाइम फोन के साथ ही स्पेंड कर रहे थे, तो एक बुक से अच्छा खासा गैप गिर गया था। बट जब ऑफलाइन सेशन स्टार्ट हुआ तो हम लोग को बहुत ज्यादा इशू हो रहा था। पर्सनली मुझे बहुत इशू हो रहा था कि वो फोन का हैबिट लग गया था, ये कंटिन्यू ये फोन के थ्रू स्टडी करना। सो ऑफलाइन सेशन में बहुत ज्यादा इशू हो रहा था। ओके, एंड सेकेंड थिंग ये था कि हाँ मैंने सोचा था कि मेडिटेशन करने का, ये सब करने का, बट एक प्रॉपर वे नहीं पता था कि कैसे हम लोग स्टार्ट करें। मतलब दिमाग ऐसे था क्या करना है, बट एक किस मैनर में करना चाहिए और उससे क्या कैसे कैसे बेनिफिट हो सकते हैं उसके बारे में इतना नहीं सोचा था। तो सर आपके वजह से हम लोगों ने आज मतलब इतने अच्छे से आपने हमको डिटेल दिया कि कैसे करना चाहिए, तो वो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। एंड सर मैं पर्सनली बहुत ट्राई करूंगा कि आने वाले टाइम पे मैं और अच्छे से इसको इम्प्रूव करूँ खुद के अंदर, ताकि जो मेरे ऑफलाइन सेशंस हैं और पर्सनल लाइफ में भी दोनों में बहुत अच्छे से इम्प्रूवमेंट। थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, Kishne.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you
I,
very much.
now I invite Assistant Professor Myra Lachani to propose vote of thanks.
Yes, thank you, madam, and good afternoon, everyone. So before concluding this session, I
Madam,
would like to say,
sorry to interrupt.
yes, ma'am.
Turn on your video, please.
Yes, sure.
Myra.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. So before concluding this session, I would like to say thank you to our management, our chairperson and founder principal, Dr. Pulswani sir, IPSC coordinator and vice principal of our college, Dr. Khushbu Pulswani madam, who has given this opportunity to our department to conduct a session like this, and who always supports us, who always stand behind us and motivate us to conduct activities like this for the betterment of the student. Then I would like to give special thanks to the today's resource person, Professor J.C. Ramesh Kumar, who has given his precious time to our student and to our college, and he has delivered wonderful session. Then I would like to give thanks to our coordinator, Kalpana ma'am, who has arranged the session for the students. Then I would like to say thank you to to my colleagues who helped us to conduct this session successfully. And last but not the least, my dear student who has attended this session patiently and who gathered some information from this wonderful session. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much. I thank Kalpana madam, management, principal, all, especially my thanks to principal's son also, because he burnt midnight oil for my program. So I thank you all, the students, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, your voice is not audible.
Sorry. Thank you, sir. Once again, I thank you from our side.
Thank you,
Thank you
madam.
for accepting
Thank
our,
you very much.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
accepting our notice on short
Thank
notice.
you, madam. Thanks.
Yes, thank you for your
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. The only thing, if there is a online, offline session, we could have done better. So. we'll
No
try in
problem, sir. It
future.
was a good session. Yes. Yes. Thank you, sir. So with your
Thank you.
permission, we
Thanks.
are ending the